Hi, my name is Nathan. You're watching Nice at Dice, and today I'm going to be playing a game called Escape the Dark Sector. This is a game for 1 to 4 players. It's a cooperative game. Basically, a group of astronauts have been captured and imprisoned in a mysterious and dangerous space station. The game starts out, you have just broken out of your cells, and you have to make your way to your spaceship so you can escape the dark sector. So it's a very challenging game. You're going to lose more often than not. I'm going to kind of walk you through how the game works as I play it, in case you are unfamiliar with that. But overall, this is just an opportunity for you to see how the game plays and watch me probably die horribly. So we'll go over to the desk and get right to it. Okay, so first things first, just to kind of walk you through what you're looking at here, I've got set up 2 astronauts, which is what they suggest if you're playing solo. Basically, you set up and play a 2-player game, but you control both characters. So a character has an illustration, they have a name, they have stats in 3 different symbols. These 3 different symbols stand for might, cunning, and wisdom, something like that, I think. And these stats are basically telling you on their matching die, which you know this is his die because it says Lieutenant Cook on it. He's Lieutenant Cook. So these meters here are basically just telling you, giving you an indication of the symbols that you're going to find on their matching die and how frequent those symbols will show up. All right, so this guy's very good at might, kind of medium at cunning, and very poor at wisdom. All right, our other character is also very good at might, very poor at cunning, and kind of medium at wisdom. Each character also gets one of these cards. This is your little implant, cybernetic implant. It gives you one special ability that you'll have throughout the game. And then you also have these medical records. This is where you just track your HP. And that's basically it. That's what the players are dealing with. This deck of cards here is the station. These are called chapter cards, and you have to work your way all the way through the deck to the boss at the end and defeat the boss. So we'll get right to it. First of all, we have a starting card which has this illustration on it, which is a nice illustration. You flip that over, you get another illustration, and you get some text to read. So this text says, after weeks confined to the detention block, you finally break free of your cell. Outside, the lighting flickers intermittently, and the burning stench of recent laser fire hangs in the air. Beside a slaughtered guard, a weapon locker has been smashed open. You load up on what little gear and ammunition remains. It tells us to draw starting weapon cards for each member of the crew, and then draw a single item card. So we'll do that. We've got our starting weapon cards off to the side, so we'll do that. We got a slug pistol and a ray gun. Give one to each character, and they each get ammunition. So we use these dice to track the ammunition. Okay, and then it also said to draw a single item card, so that'll come out of this deck. So we have a force field. So the force field, when you would lose any amount of HP, discard to lose none. So who will we give this to? I think we'll give it to Lieutenant Cook. So we'll give him a force field. Okay, and then it says, you hear footsteps approaching. There is no time to lose. You must find your ship at all costs. You steal your cells before slipping away into the gloom. Turn the first chapter card now. So we'll put that there, and we'll go to the first chapter card. So you can see we're kind of flipping these over as we go. It's sort of like working your way through a book. And let's see what the first chapter is. It says, desperate to evade detection, you crawl into the foul-smelling ventilation ducts. Within, a deep, rhythmic throbbing sound is punctuated by the metallic scuttling of unseen creatures. It says, nominate 1 member of the crew to navigate this narrow, branching crawl space. They must roll 2 wisdom in 3 attempts. After each roll, all other members of the crew lose 1 HP from claustrophobia, unless the total has been reached. If the total has not been reached after 3 attempts, The correct route is found by chance, and you all emerge exhausted and shaken, forever haunted by this harrowing experience. Okay, one thing I'm forgetting, you are supposed to keep track of like who the party leader is as you go into each new chapter. So I'll use my trusty TARDIS to track that, and we'll have Lieutenant Cook leading the party for now. Okay, but we gotta nominate someone to make these rolls. Lieutenant Smith is much more likely to roll wisdom than Lieutenant Cook, so he will use his die. He's going to be making the rolls. All right, and we're trying to get 2 wisdom out of 3 rolls. So first roll, we got 1 wisdom. Nice. Okay. Second roll. And we got 2 more wisdom, so we actually got 3 wisdom. So again, wisdom's that symbol there. And yeah, so we got 3 wisdom out of 2 rolls, so we pass that with flying colors. Just set that aside and move on to the next chapter. Okay. As the doors ahead hiss open, slimy tentacles fly out and seize you, dragging you into the darkness beyond. You lose 1 HP and must immediately begin close combat alone for 1 round. Then, as a group, choose 1 option. We can either evade, all members of the group lose 1 HP, pulling you from the grip of the killer organism. Or we can attack, which means continue close combat with all members of the crew. Alright, so let's resolve that first part first. We gotta lose 1 HP, and then immediately begin close combat alone for 1 round. So let's do that. We're gonna track 1 loss of 1 HP here. We do that like this, so you can see I started with a dot up here in the corner. This tracks your HP. You have a range of numbers down here starting with 12 at the top. And I just drew a line to another dot here, so marking that I have 11 HP now. That's how that works. Okay, so I took the 1 damage, and then I got to do 1 round of close combat. So in close combat, you can't flank, so I'll flip that card face down. And this is the guy, Lieutenant Cook is the guy doing the fighting. So we got to set up some dice for the bad guys. So the bad guy gets 2 dice with might showing, 1 die with cunning showing, 1 die with wisdom showing, and he gets 1 die for each player that we roll. Okay, some more might. All right. I'm getting that information off of the bottom of this card here. Okay, so you can see it shows 2 might, a cunning, a wisdom, and then it has this little sort of figure of a person. So that means 1 die per player. Okay. So now that we've got these dice here, they don't do anything. They just sit there. They kind of represent like the HP of the monster. So we got to take out all these dice in order to defeat it. So when we do close combat, the acting player rolls their die and see what we get. Okay, nice, not bad. So I rolled this, which is 2 might, which means I can eliminate 2 dice that are showing might. So we'll take those out. And it has kind of this shield emblem around it. That means the monster doesn't hurt me back. So that is good. All right, so that was my 1 round of combat. Now I could have everybody lose 1 HP and we just escape. Or I could continue to fight this thing. Well, I'm pretty well prepared to fight, I think. So I'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and fight. So now we start our first regular round of close combat with both players involved, both characters involved. So we got to decide what each of these characters is going to do. And I think at this point there's not really much to do except fight, or we can use the medical drone. That's what this card up here is. Using the medical drone allows us to heal. Alright, so let's do this. This guy, he's already taken 1 damage. He's going to go ahead and use the medical drone. So we're going to put his die there, so that represents that he's using the medical drone. And then we'll have this guy fight. So we'll resolve this guy's attack. Okay, nice. So he rolled 2 wisdom and a shield, so that's good. We only have 1 thing here that's a wisdom, so We'll take that out. His special ability that he gets from his cybernetic implant is once per round of close combat, you may re-roll your crew die and choose which result to apply. So I could have re-rolled this, but I like what I got, so we'll go with that. So he doesn't get hit back because he rolled the shield. And then this guy didn't attack, so he's not going to get hit back. And after everyone else has done their attacks, he's going to get his die back. We're going to flip this over, and he recovers 1 hit point. So he's back up to full health. Okay, so now the next round. We got to decide what to do. At this point, I think the only thing to do really is for them both to attack. So we'll have Lieutenant Cook attack first. Oh, nice. Okay, so he rolled 2 might with his shield. Take out these 2 dice. And no damage for him. And now Lieutenant Smith is going to fight. See if he can roll cunning. That's very unlikely. Alright, he rolled wisdom. He can re-roll, so might as well, because that's not doing us any good. Alright, so he rolled might, which still isn't doing us any good, and he didn't roll a shield, which means he's going to take some damage. This particular enemy deals 1 damage as shown there. So, we're going to mark 1 damage on his medical record. And now we move on to the next round of combat. So, I think same thing again. They're both going to attack. Lieutenant Cook will attack first. Oh, alright. Well, he rolled this, which means the shield is going to block any attack coming back from the enemy. But the might that he rolled is not helpful. So, now it's up to Lieutenant Smith. Okay, well he rolled might. That's not doing him any good. Let's re-roll since that's a special thing. Ah, okay. Well, he rolled wisdom, which doesn't help, but at least he rolled a shield, so he's not getting hit back. So, next round, do the same thing again. Okay, well, shield, but no cunning. And, okay, wisdom's not doing us any good. Re-roll. Might. Alright, so he took 1 damage. Alright. Lieutenant Cook again. Okay, nice. So now he got cunning. He got his 2 cunning and he got a shield. He doesn't need the shield because 2 cunning's going to take this guy out. And that'll be that. So, when we take this guy out, the reward as shown here is 3 items. So we got 3 items. So we'll take 3 items from the deck. Okay, so we got a rocket launcher. Let's see, who should we give that to? Maybe we'll just give it to this guy. And it gets ammo. And then we have stale rations, which we can discard to restore 1 HP to your crew member. Alright, we'll go ahead and just use that right now to restore 1 HP to Lieutenant Smith. Alright, and then we have this chrono bomb, which says after rolling any number or type of dice, discard to re-roll them all, applying only the second results. So, maybe we'll give that to this guy. Alright, so this guy's inventory is full now. You basically have 4 slots. The larger weapons that are displayed like horizontally take up 2 slots. And this guy's still got room for 2 more items over here. Okay. And yeah, that's where we're at. So now we're on to the next chapter. Now in between chapters, I can change who is going to be leading the party, but right now I think this guy's still the best guy to lead the party at the moment. All right, so what do we have here? It says, hurrying onward through the detention level, you pass a cell where a curious creature is detained behind thick, humming laser bars. Seeing you, it begins to speak, a series of wet, clicking, melancholy sounds in an alien language you cannot understand. You gather it means you no harm, when from within the folds of its slimy mass it produces an object. It carefully passes it through the bars, gesturing that you should take it. Draw an item card. Just then, the shouting of angry guards reaches your ears. You hurry onward, never learning the fate of this benevolent being. So, what did the item get? Okay, we got speed stems. This is interesting. So after rolling your crew die and applying the result, you may change the result. Oh, and before applying the result, you may change the result to cunning. So this guy right here is the least likely to roll cunning, so I'm going to give him this, and we'll just move this item over to the other guy. Okay? All right. So, on to the next chapter. Okay. Out of the darkness, a frantic prisoner sprints towards you, narrowly evading a barrage of crackling laser fire from behind him. You lose 1 HP as a shot meant for him strikes you. Alright, so the guy who is leading loses the 1 HP. That puts him at 11. Both of our guys are still at 11 HP. That's not bad. And then it says, as a group, you choose one option. Let him through or attack. Well, we're going to let him through. The salty old captain is grateful and hastily rewards you before vanishing into the dark. Draw an item card. Okay, we got a beam emitter. So this is a big weapon. Okay, well, you know what? There's no reason to hold on to these, like, starter weapons. They're pretty weak. So he's going to ditch that. And then take this bigger weapon. And we got to put all the ammo on it. Okay. Alright. Next chapter. And now we're getting into, like, the second act of the game. So you can tell that because here on the backs of these cards you had 1 spot on this little, like, radar thing. And now we have 2 spots on the radar things. So things get progressively harder once you get into Act 2. It says the floor here becomes a rumbling conveyor belt, ushering discarded machine parts through a brutal dismantler, a series of robotic limbs cutting, slicing, and scorching whatever comes their way. Each member of the crew must choose one method to try and get through. We can use foresight, in which case we have to roll wisdom in 1 attempt, or we can use brute force, in which case you must roll 2 might in 3 attempts. And then we apply results based on whether or not we are successful. Okay. Well, in both cases, wisdom is the better option, really. I'm sorry. Might is the better option because of the characters we're using. So we'll roll for Lieutenant Cook first. He's got to try to get 2 might in 3 attempts. Alright, that's no might in the first attempt. No might in the second attempt. And no might in the third attempt. Wow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use the Chrono Bomb. Just to reroll, see what happens. No, I don't want to waste it on that. Well, maybe what I'll do instead, I'll go ahead and use the force field. So, all right, he wasn't able to avoid it, but he used the force field to protect himself. Okay, so then Lieutenant Smith trying to roll 2 might. Oh, there we go, 2 might. Okay. So we got through that, just lost an item, and on to the next one. Okay, in the darkness ahead, the familiar clicking and whirring sound of a repair bot is suddenly shattered by the roar of an explosion. The passage is filled with light, and you see the robot thrown into the air, disintegrating as the force of the blast sends shards of white-hot metal flying towards you. You lose 2 HP, so the person who's leading is going to lose 2 HP. When the debris settles, you approach the machine the droid was working on, a replicator. Among the wreckage of its smoldering innards, 2 of its recent creations miraculously remain intact. Draw 2 item cards. Okay? Alright, so we have another Chrono Bomb, and we have a med pack. So we'll hold on to the Chrono Bomb, and we'll use the med pack right away. Discard to restore 1 HP to all crew members. So that brings this guy back up to 10 HP and this guy up to 12 HP. Alright, nice. So I think it's time that we switch the leadership over to this guy because he's got better HP at the moment. And we'll go ahead and move into the next room. Okay. It says you interrupt a smuggler loading illicit cargo onto her hoverbike. She curses and tosses a grenade at you. It detonates on impact, showering you with mind-altering toxins. You launch into a psychotic attack against your fellow crew while she makes good her escape. The other members of the crew must each roll their crew die. Any that do not block lose 2 HP at your hands. Any that do block defend themselves, causing you to lose 1 HP. When you come to your senses, you realize that in her haste, the smuggler left something behind. Draw an item card. Okay, so first of all, Lieutenant Cook's going to roll. He blocked, which means this guy takes 1 damage. That's probably the better of the 2 possibilities. And then we draw an item card. What did we get? Alien Sledge. Discard to restore 1 HP to your crew member. Well, we'll go ahead and use that since we can't carry it with us anyhow, and we will restore 1 HP to Lieutenant Cook. Okay. Alright. Next chapter. There is a blinding flash as the fabric of space-time is torn apart before your very eyes. An assassin bursts through the unstable portal and instantly opens fire. You must roll a hit die. Okay, that's this. So we'll roll one of these dice. And got a blank. That's good for us. Okay. Then as a group, choose one option. We can either evade. You rush forward as a unit, forcing the assassin back into the portal just as it closes. All members of the crew lose 1 HP. Or we can attack. You take up defensive positions, begin combat. Well, so we could all lose 1 HP, which would put us each at 10. Or we could fight the guy. Fighting the guy would reward us with 2 cards when we defeat him. But I'm feeling like he's going to end up doing more than 1 damage each to us, likely. So, yeah, I feel like let's just take the 1 HP each. So that brings us both down to 10 HP. And we move on to the next chapter. Okay. Wow, this ugly guy. Alright. With barks of primitive speech and heavy footsteps, a hulking mutant figure emerges from the darkness to confront you. Now, this is a Act 3 card, so they're getting even tougher. Okay, begin combat. And as a special rule, this mutant has regenerative powers. Whenever you would remove a chapter die during this combat, roll it instead. If the result is might, it is not removed. Put it back, might side up. Okay. So he's going to get 3 of these dice showing might. He's going to get 1 showing cunning. He's going to roll 2 more. And he got another might and another cunning. Okay. So how do we want to fight him? Well, I guess we could go with ranged combat first. Give that a shot. So, yeah, let's do that. He's going to attack with his beam emitter, and he'll attack with his rocket launcher. Okay, so let's do the beam emitter first. So here we're going to roll all of his ammo dice off of that card and 1 of these ranged dice for the bad guy shooting back at us. Okay, well, let's see. So we got 3 of these little lightning bolt symbols. And we got 1 of these. So this means 1 damage to us. That's not great. And let's see. 3 of these translates into 1 damage. So the way that works is he's got this little box here and it shows you how much different symbols do as damage against him. So 2 lightning bolts equals 1 damage. I rolled 3, so it's just 1 damage. Okay, so range damage takes off whatever ones of these you like. Let's take off this one. Okay, so then the ammo that I fired off of here, is the ammo dice, go to the supply over here. So that weapon has been unloaded. I'd have to reload it to use it again. This guy's attacking. He's using his rocket launcher, so he's rolling this die and this die. Oh, okay. So this is good. It came up a blank, but this came up this, which is bad. It just means I'm going to have to discard this card. So that is not good. Okay, well, I guess that's it for that. What a waste. At least I didn't take any damage. So then, what's next? Next round. I guess, so at this point I can make a decision between going into another round of ranged combat, or I can try taking up, or I can go to melee. So I think we'll just go to melee. These guys are better at melee anyway. So we'll do that. All right. So, first round of melee combat. This guy will attack first. Why not? Okay. All right. So he got 1 might. He's going to take damage. He's going to take 2 damage because he didn't roll a shield. And then this guy's going to roll. Okay, he rolled 1 wisdom. That's not helpful at all. He can re-roll. Okay, he got 1 cunning. That's not too bad. So we take that out, but he takes 2 damage. Alright, next round. I guess we're going to go for this again. Okay, well, he rolled 2 cunning, which isn't helpful, but it is a shield. So I think he'll hold on to that, so at least he doesn't take any damage. And then this guy's going to roll. Okay, well, that's not helpful. He can re-roll. Oh, wow, he rolled the same thing again. So he did nothing, and he took 2 damage. Okay. Well, what's next? Let's see, we can't flank now because we're in melee. I think because he's gotten beat up pretty good, he's going to use the medical drone this round, and this guy will do the fighting. Alright, well, he's blocking again, but not making any progress. And then this guy comes back, flip that over, he heals 1 damage. Alright, so next round. Guess this guy will just roll to attack, see what he gets. Huh, well, he's blocking consistently, but not making any progress. This guy's gonna roll. Okay, that's neither a block nor progress, so he might as well re-roll. Alright, well, at least that's progress. But he took 2 damage. Alright, next round. Okay, so he took 2 damage, but he made 1 damage on the bad guy. And now this guy's gonna roll. Nope, re-roll. Okay, took him out, nice. Okay, so that's the end of that guy. We get 1 item card as a reward. And this is discard to restore 1 HP. So we'll go ahead and do that. Who needs it the most? This guy's at 5. This guy's, oh, they're both the same. I guess we'll just heal this guy back up to 6. Okay. I feel like I should switch some things around. Let's switch these around. And let's make him the leader now. These are back in business. Alright, I don't know what else there is to do. Let's just go with that, I guess. Okay. Oh, I can reload this. So let's do that. Okay. Yep, I can always reload 1 weapon each character, 1 weapon for each character between chapters. So, okay, next chapter. The air is thick and stale in this gloomy conduit junction, where 3 large, glistening eggs stand in eerie silence. As you approach, they begin to steam and tremble. You try to dash past, but acid-drenched tendrils lash out from within. Each member of the crew, in turn, must roll their crew die along with 1 chapter die 3 times. After each roll, if the trait shown on the chapter die is also shown on their crew die, They are lashed by one of the alien hatchlings and must choose either to lose 2 HP or discard an item as the alien acid burns through it. Alright, so each of them in turn must roll their crew die and 1 chapter die. And we're just trying not to roll a match on these 2 dice. Okay. Oh, wow. Well, that's a match. But once per chapter when not in combat, I can re-roll. So we'll do that. Alright, so now they're not a match. Okay, so the first roll, no match. Second roll, no match. Third roll, no match. Alright, good. Cool. Now for the other guy. First roll, no match. Second roll, no match. Third roll, no match. Alright, got through it unscathed. That is good. Okay. Having made it past, you press on with no thought of waiting around to see what horrendous form the emerging creatures might take. Okay, next chapter. Says, these cryopods hiss and smoke as clones of each of you step forth. To represent their clone, each crew member must roll their crew die twice, placing a matching chapter die in front of them after each roll, but only placing a single when a double is rolled. Each crew member must then begin combat separately against their clone. Rounds of these separate combats are fought simultaneously. Ranged combat and close combat can occur in the same round in different combats, but not within the same combat. Okay. Until they have defeated their clone, the only actions a crew member can take are shoot and fight. After killing their clone, all standard combat actions become available to them, plus the option to join any ongoing combat at the beginning of each round, taking no damage if they do so. Okay. Alrighty, so gotta roll this guy's die twice. He rolled a fist and another fist, so 2 might for his clone. And roll for the other guy, wisdom and might. Okay. Alright, so now they each got to do combat. They can either do ranged or melee. Well, this guy's going to start off doing ranged, I think. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, alright. Well, he took 1 damage. But he did take out all of that. So that's something. Oh, actually, he took 2 damage. My mistake. Down to 3 HP. Okay. Not great. And this guy, I think he's just doing melee. So let's see what he gets. Oh, okay. He got 2 wisdom with his shield, so we take out that. And he doesn't take any damage. So now round 2, what are we going to do? This guy is going to use the drone. And this guy just has to keep fighting. Don't like that. He can re-roll. Alright, and there we go. That takes that out. This guy comes back and he heals himself 1. So he is at 4 HP. The other guy's at 6 HP. Okay, and we get 2 cards for that fight. So what did we get here? Okay, we got a really big weapon. Maybe give that to him with 3 ammo on it. And we have power stems. Okay, after rolling your crew die and before applying the result, you may change the result to might. Maybe we'll give him that in place of his slug pistol, which is not very good anyway. All right. Let's switch the leader to Lieutenant Smith because he has more HP. And we'll go to the next chapter. It says the only way forward here is to descend into a vast conduit running deep into the bowels of the station. Each member of the crew must choose 1 method to attempt the descent. A blind leap, in which case you gotta roll might in 1 attempt. A precarious climb, roll 2 cunning and 2 attempts. And then we apply the results to each crew member individually for success or failure. Well, again, I think for both of these characters, might is the better option. Okay. So this guy's got to try and roll might in 1 attempt. He can re-roll, so doesn't need to. He got his might. This guy's got to get might in 1 attempt. He rolled wisdom, but he has these power stems, which means he can just change this to might. So he's good to go. All right. So success means you make it to the bottom without injury. All right. So now we're at the boss. It says, this is it. If your sensors are correct, behind this door is the hangar where your ship is being held. But by whom? You prepare yourselves for one final battle. Turn over now. All right, so we're going up against Sergeant Steele. And it just says, begin combat. Special rule, whenever a member of the crew blocks Sergeant Steele, they are stunned and cannot take any actions the following round. If a round begins with all members of the crew stunned, Sergeant Steele triggers his dreadnought armor to auto-repair instead of attacking. Roll a chapter die and add it to the row of those remaining. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so starts out with 3 might, 2 wisdom, and then 2 more dice that we got to roll. Oh, 2 cunning. Okay, nice even spread there. Okay, so do we? Let's see. He could have reloaded. Just didn't think about it. Do we try to do ranged combat? I don't know, man. He does 3 damage with each hit. With ranged combat, there's only a 33% chance of him missing, which is not great. But with melee, there's only a 33% chance of blocking, so it's about the same one way or the other. Man, I don't know. Well, I guess what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start out with ranged. Does that make sense? I guess so. Yeah, so go ahead and do his thing. Or you know what? No, hold on. Okay. He's gonna flank. So he puts his dice there to indicate that he's flanking. When he does that, he's got to roll one of these. But if it comes up a target, which it did, he only takes 1 damage. So that puts him at 3 HP. Okay. This guy's gonna fire his gun. And he's got to roll one of these. Okay. Alright. Well, he rolled this weapon jams. It's not great. And I don't have a lot of options. I could use this to re-roll all of my dice. But I'm pretty happy that this came up a blank, so I don't know if I want to re-roll all my dice. Might be better to just take it as a wasted turn than to risk damage. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Alright, that's kind of lame, but it is what it is. Well, I don't have to discard that. Oh, actually, wait, no. He keeps these. Yeah, forgot. Weapon jams, he keeps those. So, alright, so he has another shot with it anyway. Okay, so now we've resolved both of their actions. Since he is flanking on the next, between one round and the next, he has the opportunity to go ahead and make his attack. So he's going to fire with these. He doesn't have to roll a target because he's flanking. All right, nice. So he got 3 hits, which just translates to 1 damage. But we'll use that to take out maybe this guy. Okay. Alright, so now the next full round happens. We can only flank once per combat, so we flip that over. Alright, this guy is the most injured, so I'm thinking he needs to use the medical drone. This guy could take another shot. Might as well. Okay. Alright, well, we did 1 damage, but we took 3 damage. Which means 1 more hit will kill us. Although I could re-roll all of those. You know what, why not? Let's just see how that goes. So I'm going to discard this to re-roll all of these. Okay, still took 3 damage. And weapon jammed again, which means those go back there. Okay, this guy's gonna heal. Just 1. That goes back to him. This gets flipped over. Alright, so do we stay in ranged or do we switch to melee? Well, I guess as long as we have these, maybe it's worth staying on ranged. I mean, 1 more hit in ranged or melee is going to kill this guy. This guy can survive 2 hits. Okay. Maybe what we'll do is on this guy's turn, he's going to give this item to this guy, and this guy's going to attack. Okay, we got a blink, and we got a jam. So, doesn't do anything, didn't lose the ammo, also didn't take any damage. Alright, so we'll do another round. He's going to use his round to reload his gun. And he's going to take another shot at him. Okay, alright, nice. So finally we got 3 bullets. That's going to translate to 1 damage. And he didn't take any damage back, so that's good. Alright, and the 1 damage we'll do over here, let's just put it on this. Take off that cunning. Okay. Alright, so next round, he could take a shot with his things. I don't know if that's worth doing. I feel like at this point maybe we should probably just go to melee. Yeah, I guess that's what we'll do. Just go to melee, see what we can accomplish. Alright, I'll resolve this guy's attack first. Okay, well that would be 1 damage. You know what? I mean, it'd be 1 damage, but then he would take 3 damage. Well, I guess that's what we're gonna go with, but I'm gonna use this these speed stems to change his might to a cunning. Okay, so we take off that die. Alright, and he takes 3 damage, which leaves him with 1 hit point. This guy is going to make his melee attack. Ah. Okay, he can re-roll that. Ha! Alright, got a little out of control there. Alright, his re-roll became a wisdom, which is not good because it's not blocking. So he's going to use that to re-roll. Hopefully we get a block this time. Nope, still no block. So that would take that out, but it would do 3 damage to him, which means he is eliminated. He's got no HP left. And that is the end of the game. I have lost. Okay, that is Escape the Dark Sector. As you can see, I lost as predicted. It is a game that you will lose far more often than you will win. I did a lot better than I expected, though I think that mostly had to do with just a few lucky die rolls, and some of the chapter cards that I came up with were fortunate. I was fortunate that they just didn't do a lot of damage to me. So I didn't really feel like I started taking a lot of damage till like the last couple of chapters, and then of course the end boss who finished me off. Now, one of the things I find frustrating about this game is it feels very random. Like a lot of times after I do a playthrough like this, I like to kind of evaluate, well, what could I have done differently? How could I improve my strategy for the next game? And really looking at this, I mean, every time I finish this game, I look at it and I think, I don't know that there's really anything you can do to improve your strategy. You know, there's a few cards where it's like they give you a choice between doing this thing or that thing, and it's like, well, obviously this is probably the safer thing to do, so you go with that choice. But those choices are usually pretty obvious, and beyond that, there's not a whole lot you can do. There's a little bit of maneuvering things in the combat itself that you can do to kind of try and mitigate some of the damage, but there's not really a lot of options. There's the flanking maneuver, which lets you kind of get an attack in while mitigating some damage, and there's the medical drone that you can use to heal one during combat. So that's pretty much it, and I think I used both of those strategies as often as they were applicable. So that's about it. That gives you a pretty good idea of what Escape the Dark Sector is, how it plays. That right there will probably tell you whether you like it or not, but I will have a full review of the game coming up shortly in the next few days. So in any case, my name is Nathan. This is Nice at Dice. Thank you so much for watching. You enjoy the rest of your day.